How do you do? Blast off! Well, Name the Elvis movie is coming up, along with Agent Elvis too. And plenty of Elvis fun to look forward to. Well, hello everyone. How are you doing? Welcome once again to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. As you can see, just on the right there, it's 13:31 in Memphis, and I have positioned myself outside Elvis's first real home, I suppose you could call it, which is 1036 Audubon Drive. Yes, the home he bought in 1956 for his mother and father, but unfortunately, because of the way things went, he had to move out after 12 months, and of course it was for the better in the end, because they ended up with Graceland, didn't they? So how's everybody keeping then? Okay. As I say, Name the Elvis movie coming up is the quiz. Agent Elvis. We'll be discussing Agent Elvis. I'll be really looking forward to hearing your opinions on Agent Elvis if you've seen it. If you've seen all 10 episodes, then you've seen a lot more than me, because I've only seen the first one or two. I think I saw the second one as well. So yeah, I haven't seen them all yet. So maybe you can give me your opinion on how it goes from sort of 2 to 10. We will be doing This Day in Elvis History, of course, live interactive poll. No prizes for guessing what the poll will be about. I wish Elvis had recorded. It's me this week. I think it's a song that I chose. Suggested by me. Yes, it is. I couldn't remember then for a minute. We've got Photoshop of the Week. Caption this photo. We always have a lot of fun with Caption this photo. And Smoking Hot photo, of course. A YouTube channel I recommend. I started that last week, and I recommended Duncan's Some Old Elvis Guy, his channel. Duncan Campbell, who's a great supporter of this channel. And I see that Duncan is in the building somewhere, because somebody has just said, hey, Duncan. Yes, I see Duncan's name there. And hello to Maxine as well, who is my moderator. And Lou Dane as well, hopefully, is in the building and is going to help me moderate the quiz. Before we... I have a few extra treats this week as well, so I hope you can stick around for those. Before we go any further, I just wanted to say that in our thoughts and prayers are the people of Mississippi, Arkansas, and Texas for the devastating tornado that ripped through those states. I just wanted to say that we are thinking of you. Hey, there's Lou Dane. Hi, Lou Dane. Thanks very much. I'd like to also thank you for your kind messages, emails, and show of support, and people that bought me beer last week. It wasn't buy me coffee, it was buy me beer, because it was St. Patrick's Day weekend last weekend, so I changed it from buy me a coffee to buy me beer. But you can stop buying me beer now, because it's St. Patrick's Day is long gone. You can go back to buying me coffee instead. Help me sober up. Right, so yes, we have the quiz coming up, and it is March the 26th, which is what this day is, I believe. Yes, March the 26th. It's Name the Elvis movie. Oh yeah, Name the Elvis movie. I'm going to play you a snippet of dialogue from a movie, and you've got to tell me which Elvis movie it is. And the prize... Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, this prize was kindly donated anonymously by somebody, so that's very, very kind to do that. And it's the Volume 5 of Elvis Hot Shots and Cool Clips. And there's the back of it as well. So... Oh, yes, please. Love the Elvis movies. Aha, Maxine. Right, okay. And she also says, nice prize. Dylan says, oh, no, I'll try my best. No, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised I've made some of them easy, some of them maybe not quite as easy, but I think most people will get them. Most people will get them. So with my trusty pen, I'm going to start. And I didn't get a chance to change the jingle, I'm afraid. So it's still this one.
Well, then I'd like you to check my motor. It whistles.
I don't blame it.
But we don't mind putting up with that for another week, do we? I promise if I do get round to it next week, I'll change the jingle. Yes, don't forget, it's either live chat or all messages or something like that. Because if you don't have live chat or all messages selected, you won't see all the answers, and you might think that you're first, and you won't see all the chat messages. Right, here we go. Number one, which movie is this from? I forgot which. Do you know? I've actually forgotten which button I've allocated to these clips. If you'll just bear with me for a second, listener, viewer, I'll steady myself. Which movie is this dialogue from?
You're argumentative, mulish, uncooperative, and unbelievable.
Mulish. That's a good word, isn't it? Mulish. Right. Let's have a look. Lou Dane says Girl Happy. No, it's not Girl Happy. Karen says no idea. Charo? No, that's for the mulish bit, isn't it? Right, I'm seeing a lot of people now with the right answer, so I'm going to tell you what the answer was. It was Speedway, and it's the part where he's in the coffee shop with Nancy at the end, isn't it? Just before he sings Who Are You, Who Am I? And Maxine is telling me that it was Helen Ludlow. So Helen Ludlow, you get this, and Lou Dane confirms it as well. So you get this.
Well, then I'd like you to check my motor. It whistles.
I don't blame it.
Helen Ludlow, well done, Helen. Okay. Now, number two. Which Elvis movie is this dialogue from?
Do you think you can play it on your squeeze box?
Ah,
Well, what do you say we give it a whirl?
we give it like you say a will.
A verl. That should have given you a clue. Timothy Lee says Spin Out. High Blues? Yes, it is actually GI Blues, and a lot of people are putting GI Blues. But I'm just not sure who was first. Yeah, it's the scene just before Wooden Heart. Okay. Christine O'Neill says Fun in Acapulco. No. Salam? Frankie and Johnny? Right, I've got Kirsty Marie from Maxine and Duncan Campbell from Lou Dane. Okay. Mary Elvis says, I accidentally put High Blues. Oh, and by the way, Mary, sorry for your loss. Timothy Lee says Go Blues. Okay, right. So I'm going to have to go back and check because we have a difference of opinion on who said it first. So here we go. GI Blues was... Well, you see, the thing is unfortunately Duncan says High Blues. So it is actually Kirsty Marie, I believe. I'm going to have to go with that. Duncan had a typo. Kirsty Marie got it. Thanks, Lou Dane.
Well, then I'd like you to check my motor. It whistles.
I don't blame it.
Kirsty Marie. Well done, Kirsty Marie. Right, on to number 3 now. And this is very, very, very brief. And it might raise the blood pressure of some of the ladies in the chat. That's all I'll say. Very, very brief.
You know what you need? A good old-fashioned spanking.
Yeah. What do you think of that? You know what you need? A good old-fashioned spanking. Yeah, a lot of people getting this. Yep. The correct answer is Blue Hawaii. Just before he tans the hide of Jenny Maxwell. Maxine says, I wouldn't mind one. Okay, so Ludane is saying Dylan Bowen. Well done, Dylan. You get this.
Well, then I'd like you to check my motor. It whistles.
I don't blame it.
Karen Armstrong says, Steve, you sure do get creative with these quizzes. Good job. Thank you very, very much. That's very, very kind, Karen. Yes, I do try and mix the themes up as much as I can. I enjoy backwards Elvis. I think that's a good one. And don't forget, we will be doing
The Mystery Voice
soon again. Just so I can play that jingle. That's the only reason I do the mystery voice. Okay. Well done, Dylan. Right. This is a good one. This is a real good one. Because I didn't use Elvis for all of them, as you'll hear from this one. Number 4.
No, you don't own me. You bought me. You don't own me. I meant to tell you that. You disgust me. I hate you. Every time you put your hands on me, you make my flesh crawl.
A very dramatic scene. Okay. Kirsty says, I suck at mystery voice. Well, there's a lot of people coming up with the right answer already. It was indeed King Creole. It was the scene where Elvis confronts Walter Matthau, and that young lady screaming at him, saying, you make my flesh crawl, was, of course, Carolyn Jones. So I'm getting here Banjo Paul by Maxine. I can never get it fast. Yeah. Well done, Banjo. You get this one.
Well, then I'd like you to check my motor. It whistles.
I don't blame it.
I couldn't resist putting that in. I thought that would be very, very good. I thought it would... Sue. Hello, Steve, and hope you're all well. Hi, Sue. I thought that might trip some people up, that Carolyn Jones clip, but obviously not, because you're just too good. Folks, you're just too good. As I've said many weeks, I don't think I have yet ever succeeded in tripping you all up. Somebody has always got the answer by hook or by crook. Sometimes it does slip you up a little bit, but eventually somebody gets the answer. So, Chris R. Artist says, to be honest, Steve, I'm glad just to get them right. Yeah. Leo Nolan official says, hello from Athlone, just down the road from me. Hello, Leo. How are you doing? Welcome aboard. The Card Collector 25. Did I miss the part where we can call in? No, you didn't, Card Collector. No, that will be after I've spoke about Agent Elvis. I'll tell you when I open the phone lines. In fact, you will actually see on the screen that you can call in because the phone lines are open. So there you go, Card Collector. Right, number 5. Which Elvis movie is this dialogue from?
I'm going to start off with a red one.
A red what?
Convertible.
Okay. What do you think of that? Norset says, loving you. Hi, Norset. Oh, yes, by the way, I know that Priscilla got her picture. So thanks to you, Norset. Priscilla got her picture. Do you remember the picture we put up for a prize last month? There you go. That's what Priscilla got. She's over the moon. Okay, right. So here we go. A lot of people saying Jailhouse Rock, and that's exactly what the movie was. Did I miss who Maxine said got it first and who Ludane? Okay. Maxine says Banjo Paul. Not Banjo Paul again, surely. You're on a roll, Banjo. I'll just wait for Ludane to confirm that. Yes, Ludane confirms it.
Well, then I'd like you to check my motor. It whistles.
I don't blame it.
Banjo Paul is having a good night. He could well be in the running, or rather he is in the running for that DVD. There you are. Right, here we go. Banjo Paul says, surely not. He. And the final one, this is a bit of a longer one because I enjoyed the dialogue that I was listening to when I was creating the quiz there the other night. So this is it. Sixth and final one. Which movie is this from?
Believe it or not, this time I was innocent. I was sitting there flying, minding my own business, when this soft, feminine voice came over the intercom and told me there was something smoldering in the galley.
Don't tell me. She was.
Right. But I took it straight and I went back to investigate.
And she took advantage of you.
Are you going to tell it or am I?
Right, so she didn't take advantage of you.
She kissed me.
That doesn't sound too bad. You never fought it before.
Well, we hit some turbulence and we both wound up on the deck in full view of the passengers.
There you go. Okay. So the answer to that question is Paradise Hawaiian Style. And I can see that I've actually tripped a few people up because somebody's saying Change of Habit, Girls, 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 Loving You, Blue Hawaii, Fun in Acapulco. But there was people in there that said Paradise Hawaiian Style. Dolores only said Hawaiian Style. Unfortunately, I can't accept that. Maxine is saying Brian Roberts got it first. So I just want to have a look and see, is Lou Dane going to confirm that as well? Yeah, Brian Roberts. Well done, mate.
Well, then I'd like you to check my motor. It whistles.
I don't blame it.
Okay, that is the quiz for this week for the DVD. And that was fun, wasn't it? Name the movie. Maybe we'll do Backwards Elvis or Inside Graceland or, I like mixing it up as much as I can and thinking of fun things and fun questions to ask you. Chris says, well done, everyone. I agree. Mrs. EAP says, great quiz, Steve. Thanks very much. His voice sounds quite young in the clip. Yeah, almost speeded up. I don't know what it was, but that I thought that when I was saving the clip. Guess the jumpsuits. We do guess the jumpsuits every so often as well. There's loads of things, isn't there, we can do. Actually, if you want to think of a quiz topic, send it in to me and I'll have a look at it and see what I think. I'm always open to suggestions because I say this all the time. It's your channel, not my channel. I just sit here and blather for an hour or so every Sunday. So it's your channel. So if you want to send me in ideas and suggestions and things like that and tell me to stop doing things, then I'll try. Elvis at Sun quiz. Yeah, that's another good one. He just drunk some Gatorade. Yes, because it aids his gator. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun, aren't we? Okay, so yes, the topic. And what do I do here? I'm going to put the topic on the screen for you. It's basically very, very simple. Agent Elvis, yes or no? As you probably know, the last week or so, Agent Elvis came to our screens if you have the streaming service Netflix, and there was 10 episodes, I believe, and I managed to sit through 2, I think, so there's 8 left. But I'm sure a lot of you listening and a lot of you watching now have actually seen all 10. So what I'll be doing in a few minutes is opening the phone lines and getting you to give me your opinion on Agent Elvis. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you haven't rung in before. If you've never rung in before, don't be shy. Come on in, ring, and it's free as well. Don't be nervous. We're all friendly here. I won't bite you. I promise. So coming up later will be Elvis history. Photoshop of the week. I wish Elvis had recorded. Smoking hot photo. Got a good smoking hot photo for you. Caption this photo. The YouTube channel I recommend. And also a little bit of a treat for you near the end of the show as well. I found a couple of treats I want to show you. But now, Agent Elvis. Agent Elvis is an adult animated action comedy series created by Priscilla Presley and John Eddy. Now, it most definitely is adult because there is profanity, there's a lot of swearing, there's sex, there's illegal drugs, that sort of thing, So, yeah. In the series, Elvis trades in his white jumpsuit. I don't know why they say white jumpsuit, because not all his jumpsuits were white, for a jetpack when he is covertly inducted into a secret government spy program to help battle the dark forces that threaten the country he loves, America, of course, all while holding down his day job as the king of rock and roll. Now, Matthew McConaughey voices Elvis. I'm actually glad that Matthew hasn't sort of gone for the yeah, he hasn't sort of over-exaggerated the Elvis voice. In fact, some people would say he doesn't even sound like Elvis. It's also starring It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia star Caitlin Olsen as Cece Ryder, a hedonistic but highly skilled operative for TCB. Jackass legend Johnny Knoxville plays Elvis's dim-witted best friend Bobby Ray. Comedian Nicey Nash is Bertie, Elvis's rock, who has cared for him since he was a baby. The celebrated Don Cheadle is the commander who runs the bureau. And Priscilla is in there too, as she voices her own character. So she's in a couple of episodes, and it is actually Priscilla's voice that is voicing the character. I've had some comments here from Truly Honest. They say, or she says, that person, I'm not sure whether it's a male or female, but they've called themselves Truly Honest, said that they loved it. Azamudio 128 says, what is the point of this foolishness? Elvis's fame is legendary. No silly cartoon is necessary. Elvis Presley, the legend TCB always, says, insult to his memory. Aleskije Art, I'm not sure if I'm actually saying that right, but they say that's Elvis's kind of humor. I am sure Elvis would give a green light for Agent Elvis. Random Elvis, hi Random Elvis, good to see you here. Keep up the good work. I gotta say, Steve, it's vulgar, not in Elvis's name. How dare they? And Priscilla is involved too. This is an all-time low in the Elvis story. It's greed. The Shredder says, that show is an insult to Elvis. It's horrible. And I'll finish with this one. Kimber Dancer says, I didn't hate it. I'm not big into animated entertainment, but I watched it and accepted it for what it was. There are a lot of Easter eggs for the true EP fan. I like that Matthew McConaughey didn't try to sound like Elvis. Well, that's what I said a few minutes ago. It's an adult cartoon. It most certainly is. Not my favourite, but I still want to see how Agent Elvis flies into season 2. Well, there's no actual mention yet of a season 2. I suppose it depends how this season does. It's, I mean, I've got to say the artwork is very, very good. You know, the actual artwork of the cartoon is very, very good. They haven't made Elvis look sort of, freakish or anything like that, or clownish or anything like that. I mean, he does actually look like a very, very handsome drawing of Elvis. So, that's one thing about it. But apart from that, I can't really say too much. And the simple reason is because I've only seen two. I've only seen two episodes. So with no further ado, if you're looking to ring me, there is the signal to let you know that you now can call in if you wish and tell me all about Agent Elvis, because it says phone lines open, call in now. So, and straight away, somebody rings. Okay. Here we go. Hello, who's calling Elvis, the Ultimate Fan Channel? Hello?
So, I was calling because I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, who have we got?
Because I think it was...
Is that Morgan, is it?
It was in Elvis's sense of humor. I mean, I don't think it was... They weren't trying to make it like, this is Elvis, like, look, like, it's supposed to be Elvis. It was just kind of like not really a mock, but just a spoof on Elvis, but not in a bad way.
Okay, we seem to have two...
I think he would have really liked it, honestly.
Okay.
And while, I mean, it is...
Hello?
Hello? It is a little inappropriate and vulgar.
Okay.
That was part of his humor.
Okay, can you...
And I think that...
Hi. Yeah, they seem to be actually... Hello there.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, no, sorry about that. There did seem to be two callers on the line and he couldn't really seem to hear me. So if he wants to call back in a second, but who have I got on the line at the moment?
Dylan.
Hi, Dylan. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so tell me, what did you think of Agent Elvis?
I absolutely loved it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
From start to finish.
Have you seen all 10?
Yep. I saw all 10 on the third day.
And is there a progression as they go through the episodes?
Yeah and no.
Right. I mean, it's all the same. I mean, if I've seen episode 1 and episode 2, I've seen them all, have I? I don't need to see the rest of them. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, it does get very experimental towards the end, especially.
Right. In what way?
I'm not going to spoil it, but there's an episode where Priscilla's very heavily involved in the voicing.
Right. Okay.
And there's this whole thing with him and Priscilla, and weirdly Paul McCartney turns up. I don't know why or how. But
Paul McCartney's in it.
Yeah. Well, no, not him, but someone doing an impression.
Right. Okay. Right. So somebody is doing Paul McCartney's voice, yeah?
Yeah. It's it's crazy.
So you would highly recommend it. So when I open this poll in a second, then you're gonna vote yes, are you?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to ask now, folks. I'm going to ask very, very simple. Agent Elvis, yep or nope. Okay. So there it is. There is the poll for you. You can vote on that now from now until nearly enough the end of the show. Dylan, thanks very much for calling in. You're great.
Thank you.
Cheers. All the best. Right, let's see who I had on this phone ringing me. Let's have a look now. Hang on a second. Okay. This is the guy. Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. This is BP Monkman.
So you've seen Agent Elvis, yes?
No, but I'm calling in to say that hearing all this has piqued my interest. I'm going to go and order Netflix and just to watch it.
Oh, so you're actually going to buy Netflix just on the strength of Agent Elvis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I figured, see what the feedback is like first, and the majority of the feedback is more positive, and it's there and it's keeping Elvis's name in the spotlight.
Yeah, but some people have said that it makes Elvis look silly, and he wouldn't have done all this swearing, and he wouldn't have done half the things in there. But people are forgetting that it is just a cartoon.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's a parody of Elvis. I mean, it's not showing the pudgy Elvis. It's showing a good version of Elvis as far as his body is concerned.
And you don't think it'll do his image any harm, no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, do you know what we're going to do, Brian? When you've seen all 10 episodes, okay, you can come back on and tell us what you thought.
I definitely will.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Cheers, Brian. Bye. Good to speak to you, by the way.
Likewise.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
I like it. Yeah, Brian is actually going to get Netflix just to... here we are. Hello, is that Morgan?
Yes.
Hi, Morgan.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I don't think we could hear each other earlier on.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
I heard you at the beginning, but then I think it just cut out.
Yeah. So, obviously, you are calling me about Agent Elvis, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm very, very interested to find out what you think.
I really liked it. I mean, I didn't watch it. I didn't go into it thinking this is going to be about Elvis's life.
No.
And hoping that it was going to be like that. I knew it was going to be... It's a spy show, but if it was Elvis as the character.
Yeah.
And I think the comedy and everything, that's really was Elvis's comedy. I think that's how, some of it may be a little much, but I think honestly most of it is just kind of what Elvis would have liked and he would have liked if it would have been out
so
when he was alive.
So you think Elvis would have liked this and he would have been laughing out loud at this?
Yeah.
Okay. I must admit, I only saw the first 2 episodes, and there was a couple of times when I was kind of going, oh, that's gone a little bit too far, or, oh, you know, but I mean, maybe that's the reason why they're doing it, you know?
Yeah, and I think some people are saying that it's, you know, a disgrace to his name and stuff, but I mean, I don't really think it is, because it's getting his name out there more. And if someone's watching it thinking they're going to learn about Elvis, that's not, you know, that's kind of on them, because that's not what the show is about.
Do you really think that? No, it's not. But do you really think that a show like this will make people go out and want to listen to Elvis's his records, and they'll want to watch his films? Do you think that's his movies?
Well, I think they put some Elvis songs in there.
Yeah.
So it's possible someone watching it may like the song, and then, you know, that gets them more into it. I think part of it, yes, I think it was a cash grab for Priscilla.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, as soon as the Elvis movie went and became, you know, really big, you know, this has been talked about for a couple of years now.
Yes, it was originally called Agent King, wasn't it? I believe.
Yeah, Agent King. That was what it was originally called.
And then, well, obviously, they realized probably they should introduce the name Elvis into it, would make it more interesting.
Yeah, and then then we get this, and then she announces that she's making another movie, but it's focused on her.
Elvis and me, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's really at this point she is trying to get a little bit of cash grab. Because I mean, her whole life since Elvis has died, she's profited off the Presley name.
Of course.
And I think without that, she wouldn't be relevant. No one would really care.
Do you think she did a lot of the writing for this, or do you think a lot of it was just John Eddy?
No.
And
I think some factual things they may have talked to her about, but I don't think she really did too much writing on this.
Right. Okay. Right. Alrighty. Great. Thanks very much for calling in. So you're definitely a yep on the Elvis on the poll, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Morgan. All the best.
All right. Okay. Talk later.
Cheers. Bye. Yeah. Second time lucky there for me and Morgan. He couldn't hear me. I could kind of hear him, but he couldn't hear me. And then we have another one here now. Hello. Hello, Karen. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hello, Karen. How are you?
I'm fine, Steve.
I think you might need to just turn down your speaker.
Okay, just a second.
Your audio, yeah, because we're getting a little bit of feedback. You might need to just turn down your speaker. I can hear myself, but I definitely don't want to hear myself.
Okay, is that better?
No, I can still hear myself, unfortunately.
Is that better?
No, I can still hear myself, unfortunately.
Okay, just a second.
Yeah. For anybody calling in, by the way, if you turn down your audio.
Get to my speaker here.
Okay.
Okay, is that better?
It's gone a lot quieter.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's gone a lot quieter. Yeah, I was just explaining to callers in before they ring in, if they turn their audio down. Great. Now, what do you think of Agent Elvis?
Well, Steve, I'm old. Okay, I'm an old time Elvis fan. I was around when Elvis was in his prime, and I couldn't even get through the first episode.
Oh, really? Right.
Seriously, it was like, wow, this to me is really a money grab on Priscilla's part.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, it's making a mockery of him.
The caller before you said that, Morgan, said that he thought Priscilla was using this as a money grab as well. But
I think it maybe the men would like it more than the women, possibly. But in my opinion, I couldn't even get through the first one, so I'm not going to try and do the rest of them.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that the younger generation, it will sort of make people go out and buy his records and things like that?
I hope so. Because really the real important part about all of this is keeping the music alive.
Yes, I agree. Hang on a second, I got something else here. Can you still hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. I mean, personally, I don't think that it will actually make people, turn on to Elvis. I really don't think it will. But I don't think it's done for that. I think it's just done for, as you say, money for Priscilla and money for the company and Netflix, of course.
Of course. Well, that's my 2 cents. I know not everybody's going to agree with me, but I do agree that we should just keep his music alive any way we can, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, thanks for ringing in. I mean, everybody is entitled to their opinion, and, it's nice to hear yours as well.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
Thanks. Have a great day. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't think that no, I really don't think that the reason behind this is to turn people on to Elvis, to turn it on to his music, and to his movies, like maybe the Baz Luhrmann movie was. Let's have a look here. Hello.
Hi, Steve. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Vanessa calling from the United States.
Oh, Vanessa, you've been on before. Good to hear from you again.
Good to hear you as always. Hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give a call. We had sat down to watch the Agent Elvis. Originally, we were not going, but we did. And I agree with the last caller. We did make it through the first episode, but there definitely was a point where we weren't exactly sure what we were watching.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, I don't really even know what it was like, but the positives, I do appreciate that Matthew McConaughey just spoke from his voice and he wasn't trying to impersonate Elvis.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was thankful for. He wasn't doing the hoo-hoo and all that, hoo-hoo.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I agree. I thought that the drawings of Elvis, he doesn't need to be a cartoon. He doesn't need to be anything but what he is and what he was, in my opinion. But I thought that the drawings were good.
Yeah.
But that being said, Elvis was no angel, especially what everyone says, he could definitely use language and things like that, but to have it be constant all the time, I think Elvis always tried to have an image that wasn't exactly as crude and as shocking as this most recent portrayal of him. So, but that being said, I do have to mention something, and I don't want to be off topic. I'm hoping maybe at some point you'll do a discussion about that. But
okay.
One thing I have watched and I finished was Elvis's granddaughter, Riley's new show on Amazon Prime, Daisy Jones and the Sixth.
All right.
And I absolutely loved it.
Right. Right.
It was lovely. So. Bye.
Okay. All right. Anybody else watching, check that out. By the sounds of it, it's good.
And she does her own singing. So
right.
it's
right.
Yes. So it's a nice thing, but always wonderful to see everyone and chat about Elvis. We're getting our plans finalized for August because it'll be here before we know it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yes, it will. I agree. Yes. Yeah. All right, Vanessa. Thanks very much for calling in.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, I've heard good reports about that. Daisy Jones. And there is somebody calling me here now, who I wanted to speak to. Yes, there. Let's see what this person has to say. hopefully they'll pick up.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Well, hello, Salam. Sorry, I was on another call when you rang. How are you doing?
You know, I'm fine. I think it's because the live isn't like synced exactly. So I think someone's like done with a call and I'm trying to call. So I think
Yeah.
that's, the internet.
Yeah, the internet. Yeah, is a wonderful thing. So, Agent Elvis, yeah?
Okay, so I finally finished it all. I finished it yesterday, I think, yesterday morning.
All
I'm 60-40.
Are you 64 or 44?
60 for it and 40 not.
Right.
It was very funny. There was a lot of nice nuggets in there. I just think I'm not the audience for it. I do appreciate it for what it was for the audience that it's geared towards. It's not necessarily something that I would be into because it's fine to be vulgar, but they just took it a little too far. Like they could have.
Yeah, I mean, I only watched 2, and there was an awful lot in those 2.
Oh, you
so
didn't see anything yet, Steve. You wait till the last episode. It was funny. I mean, it was funny, but it was just over the top. Like they could have toned it down a little bit.
Yeah. What sort of age group do you think this is aimed at then? Sort of the 20s?
Honestly, early 20s men. I don't even or women who are into that like anime stuff. I don't know, but
yeah.
I mean, that's not something I'm into necessarily. I watched it because it's Elvis. I thought it was funny. Elvis's character, I think, is great because he's very conceited. He's very like, I know who I am. He's very assured, and they throw a lot of nuggets in there. How he's the most handsome, the most popular, right? And I love all of that.
What about Scatter?
Scatter was running amok. It was hilarious. So I just loved that. What I loved about it was that Elvis looked like they didn't make him look bad at all. And on the contrary, they made him look amazing. Like, because, he's the hottest, he's the best, he's the number one artist, he's the number one selling artist. Like they did all of that. So I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Priscilla comes out towards the end. I did not like her part in that at all. I could have done without it.
Right.
It was just kind of like they were poking fun at she would poke fun at him. I don't want to spoil it, but like, oh, you're never around, and like just dumb comments like that, and how she was taking karate lessons, and how had he been around, he would have known, like just cheap jabs. I don't know. I didn't like her part in it at all.
Right,
I could have done without that. But overall, I mean, I don't know, 60-40. It is vulgar. It is for a specific audience. If that's for you, that's for you. If it isn't, it isn't.
And what do you think is behind this? What was Priscilla's motivation for this?
I mean, honestly, I don't think, it's just money at this point. And, she likes to put herself in everything, and like, she voices herself, and she has like an old woman voice. It kind of didn't match the rest of the cast, not to be mean, but
yeah.
I don't know. Her place in it was odd. It's just all money. It's like, oh my God, it had nothing to do with, I don't think, keeping his memory alive. But it didn't harm it. I think. I don't think it harmed it, as some people say, like, oh my God, it tarnished his image. I don't think so. It's it is what it is. It is kind of slightly the caricature side. They did it respectfully, but I mean, they literally turned him into a cartoon, so I guess I can't really say that. But Elvis did like comics, and I think he would have liked it. It's adult humor, so
they actually. I think I was saying earlier on. I think the actual artwork is very, very good. I mean, Elvis is made out to look very, very handsome in it, isn't he? Which he was
very handsome, fit. And throughout the show, the theme throughout the show was how good looking Elvis is. This is like one of the themes. So I appreciated that, because they didn't play off the fat Elvis thing. So,
no.
So I appreciated that. But it's for a specific audience. There are lots of nuggets in there. Oh, and one thing, they used Elvis songs.
Yeah.
Like some of the obscure ones, and they fit so beautifully and they fit so perfectly. And I just couldn't help but think, like, why did Baz have to go and remix? And they don't need remixing. Elvis's music does not need remixing. They just put the song as is in Agent Elvis, and it worked perfectly.
Well, you're saying that now. You're saying that they've used the more obscure songs has made me want to go and watch the next 8 now, actually. just to see what they were.
I think there's a song from Harem Scarum in there somewhere.
Oh, right,
I'm not sure,
right.
I might be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, but like the songs fit beautifully. They're not remixed. They're not redone. They're not smashed up with some other artist, and they are perfectly and perfect and modern, and they fit. So I don't know why Baz went and did all that, but that's another topic.
Okay, great. Salam, it's always a pleasure to hear from you. Thanks very much for calling in. Cheers. Bye. Bye. Yeah, that's made me think now. Maybe I should watch the next 8, especially if it's got some obscure Elvis songs in there. Yeah. Hello, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
It's Leo here from Athlone.
Hey, Leo, how are you doing?
Not too bad now, Stephen. Yourself?
That's a really, really good Irish accent. We don't get many. We don't get many Irish people on here. We have Priscilla on here as well from Ennis every so often.
Oh yeah.
So what would you like to say about Agent Elvis?
It's a mixed bag for me, do you know, because I think the idea behind it is great, and the little thing they say about Elvis trading in his jumpsuit for a jetpack.
Yeah.
The idea of that, I think, is great, and it'll make you want to watch it. But then when you watch it, it's kind of, what's this? You know, like I think a better vibe to run for if Elvis was like this person for children to look up to, and he was, you know, like because he was against drugs and that sort of stuff. And I think that if he was portrayed in that sort of way for people to look up to him, instead of him trying to control everyone around him, well, not everyone around him, but Scatter, that sort of,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I know. Scatter was in a lot of the episodes, I believe. I mean, he was definitely in the first 2. I'd imagine he's in all 10, is he? I
didn't watch all 10 now. I think I got as far as maybe episode 3. I actually can't remember.
Right.
Because I wasn't paying much attention to it. I didn't. I wasn't reined in by it.
Right.
I felt it was very kind of just watching in the background, sort of.
So
show.
you'll hardly watch the rest then. You're not going to watch all 10. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I think I will, but it's not something that I'm saying I'm going to watch all 10 now.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I know what you mean. Yeah. So are you a yes or a no then on the poll?
I think I'm going to say a yes,
right.
But I think it could do with a bit of tweaking for maybe if they go for seasons 2.
Yeah.
The likes of I think Scatter was a bad idea for the show. Just, you know.
Would you cut down on some of the swearing? Because people have said there's an awful lot of swearing.
Definitely now, yeah. I would, because like we all seen, you know, footage of Elvis, you know, and even just audio, and he just cursed a bit on stage and all live. But like we all do, but I don't think that Elvis would have gone that far. It's aimed at a different audience, and I think they're just trying to. I think the money factor is a big one, because I think that like Austin Butler could have been offered the role for the voice of Elvis, but I think if he was, he wouldn't do it, because he wouldn't think it was respectful, and I don't think it's too respectful to Elvis. It's based at an audience is what it is, really, you know. And I think that audience is late teens and early 20s.
Early 20s, yeah. But it's not really going to make those people go out and want to buy Elvis records or go and see Elvis movies. I
don't think so.
No.
But then I kind of do, because a lot of the music I'd like Elvis and country music and blues, because Elvis was such a wide variety.
Yes.
And sometimes I'd be listening to certain songs, and I often see in the comments of the videos that a lot of people come from the GTA game, and one of the radio stations in the game plays old music. So I think that maybe sometimes people can, you know, hear a song and they like it, kind of, and they want to go hear the rest of it, or something like that, you know.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks very much for. Did you say it was Leo? Yeah.
Leo, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for calling in, Leo from Athlone, and
hopefully,
hopefully you'll call in again. Yeah.
Oh, I will do.
All right.
Sure.
All the best.
Right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.
Yeah. Oh wow. This is a loud one. Hello.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah.
It's Anthony. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Anthony, how are you doing?
All right. I'm in the accounting yeah, the Elvis thing.
Yeah.
Agent Elvis. I think, so I remember.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're losing Anthony there, aren't we? I could hear him at the start, but I couldn't hear him now, unfortunately. If you want to try again, Anthony, and we'll get a better line. So yes, you can still vote on the poll. I see there's still people voting, and I'll obviously leave it open a little bit longer. Basically, it is Agent Elvis, yep or nope. Simple as that. Hello, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hello, it's Anthony again. I think we lost.
No, I tell you, I can hear you a lot better this time.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, a lot clearer.
Well, that's good. Yeah, when I was 12 when Elvis died, but I've got some memories of him when he was alive, which I cling to dearly because I only have a few.
Yeah.
And one of the memories one of the things I remember about Elvis before he died was he had a very clean image. You know, there was no word of drugs in Elvis's.
That's right.
That's image. Right. No, there wasn't. Was there? And you know, he didn't use bad language, which of course we've since found out isn't really true. The thing about Elvis is he was always on the edge of obscene, but he never crossed the line.
Yes,
which I think was part of his magic, really. I think that's what he managed to. Nobody else could, you know, like Mick Jagger and Paul McCartney. They did cross the line. You know, they went to prison for carrying marijuana and
Elvis
stuff.
Sort of hinted at it, didn't he?
Did.
Yeah, he hinted at it.
Yeah, so and a lot of that was down to the Colonel because he wanted to sell to your mother as well as to you know. So a lot of that was down to the Colonel. So when you look at Agent Elvis, you know, we've come a long way really in terms of, you know, we're kind of desensitized now to shocking news about Elvis. I mean, so I don't think it's going to do him any harm at all.
No.
I don't think it's going to earn him any particularly new fans. It is getting people talking about him.
Yeah.
My son, he's in his early 20s. He loves Elvis, and so the people he worked with are about his age, and they were talking about it.
Oh, right.
Not as Elvis fans, but just as viewers. Yeah, but their main topic of conversation was scatter. They didn't really talk about Elvis. They talked about the chimp. They thought he was great. I think young people today, they need that kind of shock factor to sort of stimulate them.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of. It means that the writing hasn't got to be that good, you know, because you'll get your own, you know, young people want, it's the TikTok generation. They want that sort of quick snap of, you know, that sort of hit me with it quickly because I'm very busy, kind of, even though they've got nothing to do really. But, do you see what I mean?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. Everything has to be fast and furious.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what it's not really for I'm about the same age as you, Steve. It isn't really, although I do laugh at it, I'll be honest, because I'm a big Matthew McConaughey fan.
Right.
So I just love whatever he does, really. And you're right about the voice. I mean, somehow, I don't know why, but it works perfectly with that cartoon image.
Yeah, I think it would have been. I think it would have been a mistake if he'd have done the big thick drawl and the and all that.
Well, it wouldn't have worked, would it?
No.
I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
But having Matthew McConaughey, which is quite deep and drawly anyway, naturally, you know, he's not putting on a character. He's just being himself. Somehow it just fits for me. It just works.
Yeah.
I've only seen 3 episodes, so I don't know.
And are you going to watch them all?
Yeah, I think
all right.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you got to, haven't you? Really? Otherwise,
yeah. Well, I'm beginning to think now that maybe I'm missing out by only watching the first 2. I don't know.
Well, that's the power of word of mouth, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. All right, Anthony. That's very good. Thanks very much for calling in.
Cheers.
All the best. Bye bye.
Nice to talk to you.
Bye bye. Yeah. Now, listening to other people now, really, it's made me wonder whether I should watch the rest, just for curiosity more than anything else. There's still time to call in if you do wish to call in and tell me your opinion on Agent Elvis. I see that the votes are still coming in, so I will actually leave it for a little longer. Hello.
Hey, Steve, this is Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, good to hear from you again. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I had a lot of impact due to the fact that, Elvis's daughter died and everything.
Yes. I'm actually thinking now, I wonder what Lisa Marie would have thought of Agent Elvis.
Yeah. That's another thing. She loved the new movie.
Yes, correct.
At least how Austin portrayed Elvis. But aside from that, getting to the question, in my opinion, Agent Elvis, in this cartoon, they basically portray Elvis as a hero, and he always read comic books, and you can see that in one of his interviews, if you will, and whatnot, and that you can see that he loved superheroes and stuff. So basically, I think that's what they are aiming for. And when it comes to his monkey, the monkey does all the bad stuff, as you can see. And I think that's just that's a message to me that they want to show the world that, it's all monkey business when it comes to the negative part of the whole story.
Yeah.
And speaking of the voice that this guy does, Matthew McConaughey, I don't think he does a bad job at all. He has that swing in his voice already, even though it doesn't sound like Elvis. But the whole package, the cartoon, I gotta be honest with you, I was basically looking forward to it, and I'm not really disappointed. It's not that I'm gonna watch all episodes in a row or something like that, but every now and then I want to watch an episode just for fun, and there's music of Elvis appearing in that show, so I think it's not.
So you can just dip in and out. I mean, what I might do is I might just watch one a week now instead of watching all 10 in one big go. Watch one a week.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could spread it out a little. You could take it in slowly, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, my opinion, it's not a bad choice. Scylla was behind it, so I don't think it's a bad choice. But
yeah, but I wonder how much input she had into it.
Well, I think that she had the input that she wanted them to use the real music of Elvis instead of something else.
Yeah, an impersonator.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it would have been bad if Matthew McConaughey was doing it.
Yeah. Okay, Aaron, it's a pleasure.
So yes for me.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for calling in, Aaron. Thanks very much.
Thank you for taking the time.
Okay. Bye. Bye. Yeah. I mean, I might now actually decide what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch one a week, because I mean they're only 25-minute episodes anyway, so it's not going to take that much out of my day. I could watch one on the phone while I'm lying in bed trying to fall asleep. Maybe something like that. So great call, Aaron. Love your voice, says Bossa Nova Baby. And by the way, for anybody asking, am I feeling better? Yes, I am. The cold is still with me, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was last Sunday. I've got some news for you as well, that in about 15 or 20 minutes time, there will be a brand new interview going up on this channel. I'll take this call and then I'll tell you about that. Hello?
Hi Steve, it's Chris Artist.
Hey, how are you doing, Chris?
Not too bad. Plodding on, you know.
And what was I going to say? Have you been watching Agent Elvis?
I have. I watched 3.
3, right? Okay. And why did you only watch 3? Is it because you haven't had time, or because you could only take 3?
No, it's kind of. I watched the first one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's quite fast paced. I was sat like, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it. But then I did watch a couple of more episodes last night. And I can't vote because I'm not sure at the minute.
Yeah.
I think, like some of the others and yourself, try and watch some more. Because by the third one, I'm thinking, my groaners. And I agree with you, what you said. I'm glad Matthew's voice wasn't and
sort of that sort of thing.
He's quite, well, he's Southern, isn't he? So
yes, exactly.
I don't think he's totally out of place.
Yeah, yeah. And what do you think of the violence and the swearing in it?
Well, it is a bit sweary, but a lot of things that you watch can be like that. I think it made Elvis look really good. I was really pleased about that.
Okay.
The artwork's great.
The artwork, the artwork is very, very good. Yeah, but I mean, do you think it made Elvis the person look good as well?
It did, yeah. I think as an animated, I mean, I like animated films.
Yeah.
That's why I was dead excited about it. And then I always have this thing, well, I hope they make him look like Elvis.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a big thing for me. I thought, well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they use his songs in there as well. Like
that's a big plus. Using his songs in there is a big plus. Yes.
I do. Yeah. Scotty. Well, I'm not sure about him because of like he's very bad, isn't he? The drugs and the women and the gambling. And with him being a chimp, I'm like, oh really? It's a bit distasteful, but
yeah.
So I haven't voted because I just don't. I've decided I am going to watch the rest of them, by the way, as well. And so if you can all come maybe next week, and if anybody's watched all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Well, maybe we can revisit this in a few weeks when everybody's watched all of them, because I know I'm conscious that people have only watched 2 or 3 like I have. But I know there's a couple of people who've watched all of them. I think Morgan said he'd watched all of them. So, yeah. Well, thanks for calling in, Chris. Lovely to hear from you.
No problem.
Okay.
And
look after yourself, won't you? Yeah.
Yes, I will do. Thanks,
okay.
Steve. And
all
yourself.
Right. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, I suppose what I can do is I can maybe, as I said, watch one a week and sort of it won't be too overwhelming then. Right, let's move on. Elvis history, this day in Elvis history. I've got March the 26th, 1953. We're starting early this week. Elvis visited the Tennessee State Employment Security Office, listing his address at 462 Alabama, where the family had moved to an apartment in a large Victorian home at a rent of $50 a month. Elvis filled out the application carefully with a pencil, noting under leisure time activities, sings, playing ball, working on car, going to movies, and indicating that he would like work as a machinist. At the end of the application form, the interviewer noted that his appearance as a rather flashy dressed playboy type. He said he wanted a job dealing with people. Okay. 1955, Elvis performed at the Louisiana Hayride Municipal Auditorium, Shreveport. 1956, Elvis did a screen test for Hal Wallace at Paramount Studios, which lasted 3 days. Paramount director Hal Wallace would sign Elvis to a 7-year movie contract on April the 25th. Day one was filming Elvis lip-syncing to his blue suede shoes to see if his stage persona would be captured on film. They filmed him once from head to toe and then again in a medium shot, then edited the two together. So the next time you see that, just be aware that it's actually two performances edited together. The test wasn't released to the public until 1990 on the VHS tape, Elvis's Greatest Performances. After Bob Neal's management contract with Elvis Presley expired on March the 15th, Colonel Tom Parker took over. Elvis signed an agreement with that made Colonel Tom Parker sole and exclusive advisor, personal representative, and manager. His position of personal representative and manager will pay him 25% of Elvis's earnings. 1957, we've got a front page, I think, by the looks of it, of the Memphis Press Scimitar, and it's obviously Elvis buying the mansion. And there's Elvis. You know, somebody told me that middle picture where Elvis is standing is actually in his bedroom. And of course, we've got Gladys and Vernon in the driveway, and Gladys is pointing out, Vernon is pointing out something to Gladys, and he has his hat in his hand, actually. And Elvis at the front, on the front steps as well. So 1960, yeah, big day in 1960, this, yeah. The Frank Sinatra Timex special, as known as Welcome Home Elvis, is taped at 6:15 p.m. for airing on May the 12th at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami. Elvis performed Stuck on You, Fame and Fortune, his new single, and with Frank Sinatra, a duet of Witchcraft and Love Me Tender. Colonel Parker had made the deal with the show's producers months before Elvis was released from active duty. He had hoped that appearing with Frank Sinatra would introduce Elvis as a pop singer to a wider audience made up of adults and pop enthusiasts, as well as teenagers and country and western fans. We have some really, really good pictures here. There's the sort of the advertising for it. And then we have some shots. That's a great shot there of Elvis in the ballroom at the Fontainebleau Hotel performing, what was it again? Fame and Fortune, Stuck on You, Witchcraft and Love Me Tender. That's a good one. That's sort of like a behind the scenes, if you like, but there's the boom mic that Elvis was singing into. Never one to take chances, the Colonel made sure Elvis would make a big splash by packing the studio audience with 400 members from one of Elvis's biggest fan clubs. There's Nancy Sinatra as well. There's rehearsals with Frank a few days before. Of course, Nancy Sinatra, 7 years later, would appear in Speedway, as we know from one of the quiz questions I did earlier. 1962. Have I got something for that? I have. 1962. Elvis reported to Paramount for pre-production of his 11th picture, Girls, 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 co-starring Stella Stevens, Jeremy Slate and Laurel Goodwin. There's Laurel and Stella with Elvis. Studio recording sessions began radio recorders and ran from 11 a.m. until midnight. In 3 days, 15 songs were recorded. On this day, he recorded I Don't Want To, We're Coming In Loaded, and Thanks to the Rolling Sea. He recorded a record version and a movie version. We have Roustabout, which is 1964 on this day. Jane Freeman, Barbara Stanwyck. We have Hiram Holiday, or Hiram Scarum, and there's Elvis looking very, very sultry in 1965. Spin Out, 1966. Baby, baby, spin out. I was listening to Spin Out yesterday. Elvis flew to Las Vegas for the weekend on this day in 1966. Live a Little, Love a Little. There's a very suave-looking Elvis sat in a chair. RCA releases a single, We Call on Him, You'll Never Walk Alone. You'll Never Walk Alone is a show tune from the 1945 Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical Carousel. 1969, Change of Habit, Dr. John Carpenter. 1971, Elvis received a bill for an American flag pin he had ordered while he was in the hospital from jeweler Lowell Hayes. Yeah, Elvis was in hospital because of glaucoma, I believe. 1974, Elvis flew to California and remained in Los Angeles and Palm Springs for the next 2.5 weeks. 1975, we have Elvis did midnight and dinner shows at the Las Vegas Hilton. And there's a cover of a CD of the show, the midnight show, on this day in 1975. 1976, this is a good one now. In Memphis, Elvis jumped out of his limo at a multi-car pileup, displayed his honorary Memphis police captain's badge, and assisted accident victims. Can you just imagine being in a car accident and then seeing Elvis jumping out of his Cadillac and helping the police and so forth? That'd definitely take your mind off any injuries you had, that's for sure. Yeah, great. And finally, 1977, Elvis performed at the University of Oklahoma Lloyd Noble Center, Norman, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And there's some great shots there. There's Cheryl Nielsen. And this next one coming up, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Elvis is kind of pulling a funny face there, isn't he? I don't know what he's up to there. Okay. And there, second night in Norman. So you can get that. That's probably a soundboard recording. Okay, yeah, I would like to ask you, if you haven't already, bottom right-hand corner, subscribe, click the bell and turn it black so as it's not personalized, but all notifications. Yeah, I was going to tell you, before we do Photoshop, I'm going to do Photoshop of the week in a minute. In about a few minutes on this channel, available will be a brand new interview I did this week with somebody called Steve Barilli, and he saw Elvis. He saw him 7 times, but I have a call. Hang on. Hello, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel?
Hi, Steve. It's Priscilla. How are you?
Hello, Priscilla. And you got that lovely drawing.
Oh my God, I so did, Steve. It's absolutely stunning.
Well, you see, I told you that the photograph on the screen didn't do it justice.
I'm just trying to turn my thing on pause, but anyway, it's like I can't. You've said it, and you said it the last time that that when you have those things that it's not obvious, from the. Oh my gosh, it's stunning.
Yeah, Marko is very, very talented.
Like, it looks like a photo. Like, I can't describe it. It looks like he could talk to you off the page.
Yeah, he's got his eyes right and everything now. I mean, some people they never get Elvis's eyes right when they do the drawing, but Marko has done a great job there.
Steve, there's an awful part to me that's so elated, and then I feel so guilty.
No.
Didn't know what she was giving away.
No. Norset was very, very kind doing that, I think, and it's living up to Elvis's generosity as well. She just wanted to pass it along to you, basically.
Well,
hats off to Norset.
I will be forever grateful to Norset because it was, as I said to you, when I read the email that morning, it brought me to tears. I read it the other day from my mum and dad. It brought the 3 of us to tears.
Oh, yeah.
To just think that somebody could be so kind. And my father, who is 80, can't understand that I don't know where Nosette is from or what she does, because he's gone, why did this woman? I said, because we all love Elvis.
Yeah, and we're a big family as well.
See, and he just doesn't understand that somebody could be that kind and to do that and not to know the people involved, or not to know their origin. Yeah. But I'm very lucky.
Yeah. Tell me, did you watch Agent Elvis or not?
Nah.
No.
You knew my answer before I said that, didn't you?
You're definitely a nope.
Nope. Absolutely nope.
Okay.
Now, what I want to say and what I really want people to hear is, everybody is entitled to their opinion.
Oh, yes.
I am in no way judging anybody who would watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I can only be responsible for my own actions.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily entirely happy with the bashing that's going on around it. They're either hating it and hating on anybody associated with it, or they're loving it and think it's the best thing ever. I just think that we need to remember why we're all here. It's because Elvis was a tremendous human being, and we were fortunate enough to have him and the music he created and to be the person he was. And I've said to you several times before, there's no such thing as bad publicity. All publicity counts. Now, do I agree wholeheartedly with any kind of vulgarity? Probably not. But I did comment in the chat earlier. I wonder if it isn't a generational thing. Now, I know I'm not throwing a blanket on everybody. I know there are people in all categories that may have an interest in it. It certainly wouldn't be something that I'd rush to one way or the other, you know. But I just think that we need to remember that it's not for us to say, I don't know, that Priscilla's making money off it. Or EP.
I think it is aimed at probably people younger than you and I. Let's get that straight, you know, so...
I'd have to agree. But the reality is, you know, there've been people in the chat tonight who said they're our age or older, and yes, they loved it too.
True.
I mean, do you know what Elvis did really well in his career?
What?
He didn't comment on things that he wasn't an expert on.
No, that's right. He refused.
And he kept his personal opinions to himself.
Yeah. He was they tried to draw him out on several occasions, and he just said, "No, I'd prefer not to answer that."
Yeah, the Madison Square Garden press conference, and like, I think we could take a lesson from Elvis here, and everybody's entitled to their experience and their own opinion. And I think the rest of it, we should just rein in and stop people bashing, whoever it is we're bashing.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
That'll be my take on it.
All right.
Again, I think you're tremendous, and I think we've had a great string of callers tonight.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we've had 2 Irish accents.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Leo from Athlone as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good news. Good news.
Anyway, thanks for taking the call.
No problem,
again,
Priscilla. I'm glad you like the print. I knew you would.
Well, it's gone to the print shop, but the guy took it to frame it for me, and he was to be open yesterday. But when I went to collect it, it wasn't open. But I will send you a picture of it when it's framed.
Please do, and I'll put it on the channel. Okay. Thanks, Priscilla.
That.
Alrighty.
Thanks so much,
Cheers.
Steve.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, Priscilla got her prize, and I knew she'd be impressed because when I opened it, wow, I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought, do I really have to give this as a prize? I was nearly going to keep it myself. And once again, thanks very, very much to Marko O Leary. Please do check out Marko O Leary's Facebook page. And if you want any drawings done, he's the man to go to, definitely. Because as you can see, look at that. Wow. Yeah, I was halfway through telling you about the interview that's coming up. It will be available on this channel by now, I think. I asked it to load up about 10 minutes ago. It's Steve Barilli. He saw Elvis 7 times, and one of those times was at Madison Square Garden. And it was great to hear his description of the Madison Square Garden concert. It was the afternoon show, the one that became Afternoon in the Garden, and the one that became Prince from Another Planet, the DVD. And he also goes on to tell us about the other times he saw Elvis. He saw him in 73, 75, 76, 77. And he actually got a scarf from Elvis. I'm telling you all this. I shouldn't really be telling you this because it'll spoil it, but there's more to be heard as well. And also, Steve provides the photographs and artwork for Follow That Dream and Sony as well. So that's another interesting point. And it was great talking to Steve because it was just it was a very, very easy interview for me to do because it was more just like 2 Elvis friends and Elvis fans talking together. And you'll hear that in the conversation. It was just like 2 fans talking on the phone. So I hope you'll like that. Photoshop. Yes. Don't forget, you can still vote on Agent Elvis. Yep or nope. Okay, the Photoshop is, I've got to find it. Here we are. Shop 1 is a lovely photograph of Elvis and Lisa Marie Presley. But of course it's not because the timeline is completely out. She wouldn't have been that age when Elvis was that age. And this is basically what it's from. There's Elvis And then what they've done is they've taken a studio shot of Lisa Marie Presley, which was taken much, much later, and segued the two together. If you see Photoshops that you keep seeing and annoying you, send them in. Send the Photoshop, send the original in to me, and I can cover it in another show. I know Kirsty Marie, who is a great supporter of this channel, is doing her own page revealing the Photoshops, and I might actually steal a few from her. Right, a song I wish Elvis had recorded. Yes. Now, it's suggested by me. I've chosen the song this week. It's a song from the second studio album called American Pie by American songwriter Don McLean, released by United Artists Records on the 24th of October 1971. The folk rock album reached number 1 on the Billboard 200, containing the chart-topping singles American Pie and Vincent. Recorded in May and June of 1971 at the record plant in New York City, the LP is dedicated to Buddy Holly and was reissued in 1980, minus the track Sister Fatima. The album was released to much acclaim, later being included in the book of 1001 albums you must hear before you die. My choice is not, as you might have expected, it's not the title track, but a song about lost love called Empty Chairs. The title appears only once in the song, showing up in the last verse in the line, empty clothes that drape and fall on empty chairs. According to McLean, the record company wanted him to change the title to I Never Thought You Would, since that's a prominent line in the chorus. McLean refused. To me, that wasn't what the song was about, he said. And part of the song goes, and I wonder if you know that I never understood that although you said you'd go, until you did, I never thought you would. That's why they wanted to call it I Never Thought You Would. Speaking with the UK newspaper, The Telegraph, he revealed that it's a song about a man who loses a love. The empty chairs are Van Gogh's paintings of a chair. That's obviously that there. That's the Van Gogh painting of an empty chair. And that's the album. It was off American Pie. I actually think that Elvis would have nailed this song. I really, really do. And if you're not familiar with the song, as I do every week, I'll put a link below to the song, and I would urge you to check it out. That's my song that I wish Elvis had recorded. Empty Chairs, Don McLean from American Pie. Let's see now. Is there still votes coming in for Agent Elvis? Yes, there is by the looks of it. So I will leave it for another few minutes. Caption this photo. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Do you remember this one? This is the one I put on the community tab early on in the week. And if you're not familiar where to find the community tab, you just go to... Oh, I'll just take the caption off again. Hang on a second. Caption. You go to the home page of Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel and click on the community tab. Alrighty. So let me take that off. I can't find the community tab now. There. And go to caption. Yes, this was the funny one that I came up with, asking people to caption. The lady is thinking, even with his tongue stuck out, he is so much more handsome in the flesh. I can't stop staring. This is what I think about the movie, about me not winning an Oscar. This tongue is classed as a deadly weapon. See, I can make a woman faint if I do this. Watch. But the winner is Messenger 1106, and this is the one I liked. I know it looks silly, but the salesman said my shoes would slip on easier if I used my tongue. So, yeah, that's my favorite one. And there'll be another caption this photo next week coming. I'll put it on the community tab either on Monday or Tuesday-ish, and you can give me your funny captions, and also give the other ones, the ones that you like, not your own, a thumbs up, and I'll either pick the one I like or the one that gets the most thumbs up. So that was caption this photo. Now, the the other thing I introduced a couple of weeks ago was a YouTube channel I recommend and I like. And this week it's called Elvis Back on Tour. And I will leave a link below so you can just click on that. A lot of you will be familiar with Elvis Back on Tour. It's a father and son that do the channel, and they do lives and they do a lot of Elvis information, but they also visit places that Elvis had appeared in concert between 1969 and 1977, and they compare the venue with now, today, and they compare it with what it was like when Elvis did his concert. So that's the one I recommend this week, Elvis Back on Tour. Right, I think I've covered everything apart from, of course, closing the poll. And also, I wanted to show you a couple of, I know I'm saying they're rare photographs. The only reason they're rare is because you don't see them a lot. You might have seen them before, so I'm not claiming that they are, unseen photographs or anything like that, but they are quite rare. And I wanted to just share these two with you. There's one there, Elvis, it looks like he's at some sort of party or gathering and they're eating watermelon, and he looks extremely young there. I would imagine that's probably either 1953, maybe 1954, maybe 1955. Maybe you know the year of that photograph and you can let me know. If you can give me information about that photograph, I would be extremely grateful. And also, we have this one as well. That's almost certainly 1956. The two guys sat on the wall as well, looking at Elvis and smiling. So they're just two rare-ish photographs that I wanted to share with you. Not frequently seen, but definitely not unseen before anyway. Smoking hot. Yes, I have to do the smoking hot photograph because if I don't, I'll get in trouble. And this is a smoking hot photograph this week. That's that. Look at that hair. Look at those eyes. Look at that face. Look at that expression. As you can see, the Sheriff's Department, Shelby County, Tennessee, taken on October 10th, 1970, when Elvis was getting a badge, of course. And that photograph was taken for the identity card to go with it. His hair is unusual color. Yeah, that's on the rare ones, is it? Yeah, his hair's blonde there, isn't it? Yeah. But sorry, yeah, I got sidetracked there. So yes. And Mary Elvis says, oh, how luscious. Carolina says, I am melting. Mrs. EAP says, thud again. Kirsty says, Lord have mercy. Thanks, Rocksmith. Pick is 1955 in Texarkana. I take it you mean this one. Okay. And I would have said 1955 at a friend's house after playing a gig in Mississippi, I believe. Spa Guy has the house and why he stayed there. Thank you very, very much. I mean, yeah, I was kind of just guessing there. I would have put it either at 1953, 54, or 1955, but I'll go with the consensus that it's 1955. And he looks extremely young there. And yeah, they're enjoying watermelon. Right now, I have to tell you the outcome of the poll, and it's close, and it should be coming up on your screen now. And for the benefit of people who are not watching live and are watching on replay, I will tell you that Agent Elvis, nope. No was 51% and yep was 48%. So that is a very, very, very close poll, I think. There's only, 3% in it. So that tells you that people are divided almost right down the middle on Agent Elvis. And from the phone calls that I've had this evening, thank you very much, by the way, for everybody that rang in. It's most appreciated. Please give this a thumbs up and a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it does help. And also, as I remind you as well, if you do want to donate to the channel, if you feel I'm doing a good job keeping Elvis's legacy and name alive, you can actually buy me a coffee. You can go to the link I put on the chat, or you can actually just scan the QR code. That's very clever how you do that. But yeah, Agent Elvis, after listening to the phone calls tonight, I might just watch a few more and see how I get on. Maybe watch one a week and see how I get on. Now, don't forget, the new video and interview is now available on this channel. So you can watch that and you can leave your comments on that and let me know what you think of Steve Barilli, who saw Elvis at Madison Square Garden and other places, and also provides the artwork and photos for the Follow That Dream label. But until next week, take care of yourselves, and we'll do it all again next week with another comment. I meant another topic. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you next Sunday.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.